So now that we've got the charges on the ions, what about working out the formulae of a compound? Let's take the formula of aluminium sulfate, shall we? Now, what we're looking to do is to maintain charge neutrality in the overall compound. So in other words, we've got to make sure that the positive charges overall are balanced out by negative charges. So let's start with the charges on the ions. Well, the aluminium ion, group 3 in the periodic table, 3 electrons in its outermost shell, will tend to lose those 3 electrons to gain noble gas electron configuration. So that's Al3+. The sulfate ion, just learn it, SO4 2-. Now you can see that if we just had one aluminium and one sulfate ion, the overall charge of those two would be +1. So that's unbalanced. So we've got to come up with a combination of +3s and -2s to balance out. Now if we therefore have 2 aluminiums, the overall charge there is +6. That out, we can have 3 sulfate ions. That of course will give us a -6 charge. So the formula of aluminium sulfate is going to be Al subscript 2 for the 2 aluminiums, and the sulfate SO4 is going to be 3 times. But of course, if we just leave it like that, you can see that that doesn't make any sense. It looks like it's SO43, or is it Al2S O4 3 times? So we've got 12 oxygens there and just 1 sulfur. No, what we need is a bracket around the sulfate like that to show that we have 3 lots of SO4 there. So the formula of aluminium sulfate is Al2 SO4 3 times. Let's try another one. Just another piece of paper, I think. That's better. So, what about ammonium phosphate? A little bit easier in some ways. The ammonium ion, again, something just to learn, NH4+, phosphate, PO4, 3-. Now we can see that we're going to need 3 ammonium ions to balance out the 3- charge of the phosphate. So that gives us +3, and that on its own is -3. Oops, there we go. So therefore the formula of ammonium phosphate, NH4 3 times, PO4, and of course in this particular case it's not NH43. We've got to have the ammonium ion 3 times like that. So the formula of ammonium phosphate, NH4 3 times, PO4.